Michigan fans, Michigan women's hockey is live and on the air. We are live here at Dwyer Arena on the campus of here at Niagara, University of Niagara, where it is the home of the Purple Eagles, as Michigan taking on Niagara for the second game of two here, as they'll head home right after this. We apologize. The game was pushed back by an hour, so 2 o'clock start. We just learned about that about 16 minutes before we were ready to go on air, so you gotta be flexible, trying to keep things going. So take a look at yesterday. Michigan now, and I apologize, the records, I didn't have Photoshop in the hotel with me, so the records are wrong there. Michigan is now 10, 11, 0, and 3, and Niagara is 8, 10, 2, and 0. That's 8 wins, 10 losses, 2 overtime losses, and no ties. Michigan, 10 wins, 11 losses, no overtime losses, and 3 ties. Take a look at action from yesterday. Started off with a Niagara goal, as that was put in by Zamet at 10:40. Then there was a Niagara penalty as Haas went off for hooking at 7:43. Then in the second, it was a Niagara penalty as Hankey went off for a cross-check at 16:45. Michigan took a penalty as the captain, Katie German, went off for holding at 7:35. Then it was a Niagara goal at 1 minute 54 seconds. We could not tell who scored that goal, as there was a scramble in front, and we did not have a PA announcer yesterday. We have one today. Really nice gentleman who's going to do an awesome job. So we appreciate him. He was out at the Kinesis game last night, so we very much appreciate him being here. In the third, it was a Michigan penalty to Izzy German at 10:17 or 16:17, excuse me, for a tripping call. Then a Niagara penalty that at 10:22, as that was to Shaduto, as that was at 10:22. The Michigan penalty as going off is Cummings at 9:03 for a tripping. Then it was a Niagara penalty, that one to Schweitzer at 7:16. And then at 3:52, it was a penalty to Layla. That was to Layla Rushforth. And she will not be playing today, nor I believe will Bianca Rushforth. So that was the two lone goals. That happened at 10:40 in the first, as that was Zamet with the goal, and then at 1:54 in the second. So Michigan shut out again as they're trying to find a way. They had the lead on the shots on goal. They had a good number of shots on goal. They had some solid shots, hit a post. Adley played really well as she has done in the past, and especially on senior night, she being the lone senior. Adley did a fantastic job. And we're just waiting for this Michigan offense to explode. We know they have it in them. We know that they can absolutely score. They're in a drought, and these things happen. Take a look at the starters for today for the Wolverines. It is going to be at right wing, it will be Hung. At center, it will be Cummings. At left wing, Flazar. At left defense, Katie German. At right defense, Kolich. And Schiff between the pipes. Over on the other side, defenders for Niagara, it's going to be Burtnick, as well as McComber on the defense starting. Right wing, it's Shadudo. At left wing, it is Panque. And at center, it is Haas and Adley between the pipes. Those are your starters for these two squads. Taking a look now as, the season, the end of the season is barreling towards us here as Michigan has 2 more games. Arizona State on Thursday, February 13th. So day before Valentine's Day, come out to Yost Ice Arena. Hopefully watch Michigan have a good battle and hopefully beat Arizona State University. Then on Sunday the 16th, it is Michigan hosting Rhode Island. By the way, originally the game was scheduled at 8:05 on Thursday. It is now backed up to 7:30. The game on Sunday is 4:05. Taking a look at what's left for Niagara, they have 2 games versus UMass over at UMass. So they'll be playing UMass on the 14th and 15th of this month. Taking a look at the top scores for Michigan, that hasn't changed since Michigan. No additional scores. So if we can pull this up here, and you can here we definitely have the public cadets announcer today. He's doing a fantastic job, as we appreciate that. So for Michigan, again, the top 5 scores. Lindahl has 23 points on 9 goals and 14 assists. Lucy Hansen, 21 points on 12 goals, 9 assists. With 12 points is Mashevsky with 2 goals and 10 assists. Cummings, Carr, Katie German, and Ferris all tied with 10 points. So 4 people at the number 4 spot. Cummings with 5 goals, 5 assists. Carr with 4 goals, 6 assists. Katie German with 3 goals and 7 assists. And Ferris with 2 goals and 8 assists. Taking a look at the other side at Niagara as we're about to get the starting lineups announced. Niagara Schweitzer has the lead, 14 points on 8 goals and 6 assists. 2 players at number 2. It is Pelleggi as well as Bianca Rushforth. Pelleggi with 4 goals and 7 assists. Bianca Rushforth 2 goals and 9 assists. And then 2 against 2 at the 10-point. Layla Rushforth with 10 points. And Vanderbush with 10 points there. As we're about to get the starting lineups here, I will turn it over to the public press announcer.
Starting lineups first for the visiting Michigan Wolverines. On defense, a senior from Ann Arbor, Michigan, wearing number 10, Katie German. On defense, a junior from Beverly Hills, Michigan, wearing number 12, Kara Colwich. At right wing, a sophomore from Ann Arbor, Michigan, wearing number 3, Ava Hung. At left wing, a senior from Chelsea, Michigan, wearing number 13, Allie Flazar. At center, a sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee, wearing number 27, Katie Cummings. The goaltender, a junior from Potomac, Maryland, wearing number 31, Avery Schiff. The head coach is Jenna Triviano with assistant coach Ned Brisson. These are the Michigan Wolverines. And now, here is today's starting lineup for your Niagara Purple Eagles. freshman from Welland, Ontario, wearing number 22, Easton McCumbers. At right wing, a sophomore from Ancaster, Ontario, wearing number 88, Juliana Scaduno. At left wing, a freshman from Nanaimo, British Columbia, wearing number 25, Ray Henke. At center, a sophomore from Beaverbank, Nova Scotia, wearing number 5, Byron Scott. And your goaltender, our senior from Woodstock, Ontario, wearing number 29, Mackenzie Hadley. The head coach is Anna Quattro with assistant coaches Ashley Davey and Alyssa Dollendorf. These are your Niagara Purple Eagles. Fans, at this time, we invite you to rise if you're able and remove your caps as we honor friendship, strength, and resilience shared by two great nations with the national anthems. To perform O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome Niagara Falls' very own Christina Custodi.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us common. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Christina Custodi with today's national anthems.
As we are getting ready to go here at Dwyer Arena on the campus of Niagara University, just outside of Niagara Falls. We had a surprise as we came out of the rink last night. We had about 6 inches of snow that dumped on us. It's been nice today as they know how to deal with all that white stuff up here. They get it fairly regularly, but definitely a little bit of a shock as we came out. Michigan again trying to get their offense humming as they want to get a split here. Taking a look, Michigan is on the top 15. They are ranked number 13th. So Michigan has a little bit of work to do. This Niagara team is ranked number 9th. So it's Liberty at number 1, Adrian at number 2, Maryville at number 3, McKendree at number 4, Midland at 5, Minot at 6, Indiana Tech at 7, Michigan Dearborn at 8, Niagara at 9, Miami University at 10, Arizona State at 11, who we'll see on Thursday, Lindenwood at 12, and Michigan at 13, Jamestown at 14, and Michigan State at 15. As Michigan State leads their pod for the CCWHA playoffs. Remember, all teams this season make the CCWHA playoffs. In the past, it's been the top 3 from each pod. And we'll be coming up shortly at Niagara Ice Arena. We are underway. Here's that puck back into the Niagara zone. Coming in along the near boards. McComber trying to get it out of the zone. Michigan trying to keep it in along the near boards as Hung fires it across the way. Picked up coming down the far boards is Haas. Haas in a battle right in front of the scorer's box as that's brought right back in by Michigan. Trying to fire it in the slot. Shot that comes all the way back in along the near boards. Kolwich trying to grab it now. Flazar into the near corner. Picked up by Haas, who fires it all the way around. Trying to get it is Burtnick outside the far circle. Hung trying to knock that away as the puck onto the far circle. There's a shot by Hung. Can't get through traffic as that comes all the way into the near corner. Picked up back over there by Kolwich. Now firing it ahead. Scaduto fires it all the way back into the Michigan zone. That puck is offside as Hankyu coming over, and just a little bit of a timing issue there. No interference, forgive me. As quickly into the box goes Scaduto as we are in the first. Michigan with the power play just 51 seconds in. So at 19:09, that is going to be an interference call on Niagara penalty. That on number 88, Scaduto. So Michigan really love to get things humming with a big power play goal. Malashevsky in to take the face off. Comes back over now, back to the far point. Picked up onto the far circle. Hansen with it. Hansen comes top of the far circle. Hansen into the slot. Hansen over Carr with a shot. And what a save by Adley as Carr got it just on the inner corner of this near circle. Fired it, and Adley able to cover that up. Face off in the near face off circle. That puck in along the near boards is Clipperton trying to get it out of the zone. Now Schweitzer coming down, leading scorer for this Niagara team. Over onto the far side, shot there. Schiff with a save as the puck goes into the far corner. Trying to pull it back away. Here comes Michigan. It's Ferris over center ice. Ferris gains the zone down the near boards. Ferris outside the near circle. Goes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Ferris outside the far circle now. And sent right back to Ferris at the far point. Ferris gets it top of the far circle for Hansen. Hansen back to Ferris now over. Carr has it outside the near circle. Carr. And tipped right back away as Schweitzer tried to bring it down the ice. That'll go right on goal. Schiff will move it over, and Lindahl will pick it up. Lindahl gets ahead of steam coming down the near boards. Now fires it over to Carr down the far boards. Carr. Trouble coming in there as that's knocked right back by fired right back over by Custins. Puck right at center. Here comes Hung. Here comes Hansen. Hansen outside the near circle. Hansen waiting for everyone to get in. Now sends it top of the near circle. Carr trying to fire it out in front. That tipped into the far corner. As McComber fires it all the way down on edge into the far corner. As 33 seconds left to go in the power play. As that puck over into the far corner. We tried to get the clock into the upper left-hand corner, trying a little OCR with the scoreboard, but that wouldn't work. There's just a little too much going on the scoreboard, and our angle wasn't great. And outside the far circle, trying to chip it away as that deflects back. Lazar with it goes into the near corner. Coming back around underneath the near circle is that's Demonica. On the far circle there, that shot that tipped right back into the near corner. Flazar with it, Flazar. Into the far corner, Flazar. All the way back, top of the far circle, that chip now. Here comes Garbady. Garbady trying to get a shot away. That got in the way of first stick was G. Demonica trying to pick that up. That fired down the far boards. Penalty has expired as Niagara back to full strength. They gained the zone. As there's a shot by Custins and she scores. So Custins with the shot. She came down. She gets it coming over center ice, now down top of the near circle. Fired in just good puck placement. And at 16:47, Niagara gets the early lead. 1-0, Niagara with the lead, coming ahead with it. As DeMonica trying to put it back deep, that's swept by Williams in along the far boards, held in there, is coming over. There's a shot by Lindahl, comes off to the near corner. Trying to knock it away is Burtnick, now coming ahead with it all the way across. Petrie trying to get it over to Forbes. Forbes sends it right back behind the goal. Gathered up by Bobby. Bobby trying to move it over into the far corner. Michigan trying to bring it ahead as Lindahl has it down the far boards. Lindahl over center ice. Lindahl has that poked away. Michigan has to reset as a delayed offside. Now that puck comes in along the near boards. Racing in Forbes into the near corner. And picked up back behind. Michigan has it. Izzy German feeds it down the far boards. Izzy German gets it back, sweeps it across the ice. And chipped right back to the near point. Here comes Michigan down the near boards in the neutral zone. Trying to feed it ahead. And puck outside the near circle. Now DeMonica with a shot that comes right back to the near point. Fired back in deep by Ceballos. Puck into the far corner. And gathered up by Clipperton. Clipperton brings it down the far boards of the neutral zone. Chip by Schweitzer right back to Clipperton. Clipperton chases it into the far corner. Right back behind the Michigan goal. Izzy German trying to send her wide. Now Gordon trying to knock that puck away in the near corner. 15:23 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Niagara with the lead out in front. That puck trying to get on top of it is Ship, and she's able to cover it up. 15:17 left to go here in the first.
With her fourth goal of the season, number 14, Kate Costins.
As we talk Custins on the goal.
Assisted by number 77, Abby Pileggi.
Pileggi gets the assist. As Schweitzer trying to move it out in front. Out in front. Michigan still trying to knock it away from back behind their own goal. 15 minutes left to go. Now coming down the near boards, racing ahead with it. Here comes Michigan, coming in Hansen. Hansen with a shot that just misses to the far side. Gathered up by Vandenbush to try and feed it ahead. That puck right back in. Now bringing it ahead down the near boards is McComber. McComber stopping just before center. Now McComber comes from the near side to the far side. Pressure coming by Michigan. McComber trying to get it ahead. I believe that's Haas over there, but bringing it in. Here comes Dilla. Dilla has it for Michigan. Dilla with that shot. Trying to catch the upper left-hand corner. That just missed out to the outside of the far circle. Trying to hold it in. Garbady trying to knock it over. There's Haas with the shot. That just goes wide to the far side. Into the far corner. Dilla trying to pull that away. Bobby now has it outside the near circle. Bobby, cross ice pass. Trying to pull that back away. It was Williams as the puck right to the blue line. Now Clipperton feeds it ahead. Michigan down the near boards in the neutral zone. That brought in by Della outside the near circle. That shot went off of Williams' skate right back behind. Schweitzer feeds it down the far boards. Now bringing it ahead. Van Q had it right at the blue line. Holding it in. Dilla poked right to the top of the far circle. Gathered up by Clipperton on the near circle of her own zone. Clipperton all the way back. That into the Michigan end. That'll be a shot on goal. Picked up back behind by Ferris. Ferris trying to avoid pressure back over there by Worrell. Now here comes Michigan gaining the zone. Garbady, that knocked into the far corner. Moved in along the near boards by G, fired out. Now Worrell had it into the near corner. Gathering ahead to G. G feeds it. Now racing ahead is Pileggi. Pileggi fired back and held into the neutral zone. Here comes Hunk. Hunk gains his own. Hunk into the slot as that's knocked away. Good defense by McComber. There's another shot. Adley sticks it into the far corner. Gathered up back there by Worrell. Now coming ahead with it, Custins. Custins gains the Michigan zone. Hung has it at her own blue line. Hung ahead to Cummings. Cummings. That just tipped away. McComber trying to get it out. Right back to center ice. Tipped down the near boards. McComber has it. Top of the near circle of her own zone. McComber rifles it down the far boards. That tipped all the way back into the Michigan end. Gathering it up back behind. That grabbed. Moved over. Is trying to feed it ahead. Kieran had it. That'll go back into the near corner. Toned away by Lindahl. Lindahl trying to fire it out in front as that's just moved into the near corner. DeMonica trying to pull that away. Puck, bouncing puck. Picked up, coming down the far boards. Forbes knocked right back. Michigan controls at their own blue line. Now Demotica trying to tip it deep into the zone. Puck in along the end boards. Gathered up back there by Williams, right back behind her own goal. She chips it down the near boards. Is trying to bring it ahead. Burknick right over center. She skies it, bouncing puck into the far corner. Segredo trying to pull it down the far boards. That comes back into the neutral zone right in front of the benches. Gathered up by Schweitzer. Schweitzer gains his own. Schweitzer top of the far circle. Schweitzer trying to work her way in front. And it comes back. Schweitzer still has it on the near circle. Schweitzer sends it all the way to the far point to Williams. Williams shot. That got deflected into the far corner. Comes underneath the near circle trying to pull that away. Segredo battle for it in the near corner. Zenit trying to fire it out in front. She had the first goal in yesterday's game. Chipped all the way back. Trying to hold it in. There is Burknick. Puck outside the near circle. Now Segredo trying to move it around. The puck comes right back to the near point. Here comes Michigan. Racing down the near boards. Trying to fire it in is the Demotica. Demotica gains his own as Schweitzer peels her off on the near boards. So right back is Burknick coming down the far boards of Niagara zone. Burknick trying to get it out. That tip right back into the far corner. In along the end boards, gathered up by Williams. She stops right back behind Adley. Williams ricochets it off the far boards over to Vandenbush. Vandenbush over her own blue line. Over to Zamet. Stolen. Taken away. Fired right back in by Michigan. Good job by Gordon. Picked up back behind by Clipperton. Clipperton into the far corner. Now Carr trying to work her way around. Carr trying to get away from G. That fired right through the crease. Comes all the way back to the far point. Vandenbush gets it back into the neutral zone. It's a foot race picked up back over there by Hansen. Hansen down the near boards. Hansen comes over center ice. And grab back as Clipperton on that near circle. Gets it right back into the neutral zone. Kolwich racing back as that's tipped away. Kolwich battling versus Panque. That puck all the way down the near boards. Michigan gets it out into the neutral zone. No, held in by Clipperton at the near point. Clipperton outside the near circle. And puck into the near corner, knocked away by Gordon. Is trying a centering attempt. Panque comes underneath the near circle. Puck outside the near circle now, trying to chip it into the neutral zone. It goes right to center ice. All the way back down the near boards. Gathered up back there by McComber. McComber comes now to center ice. Tip back away, racing in. Trying to get to it is Dilla. She ends up down on the ice. Puck outside the far circle. Garbati pinned against the boards. Now, Scaduto bringing it ahead. Scaduto fires it, that right to the blue line, now coming down the near boards. Here comes Bobby for Michigan. Bobby gains his own. Bobby outside the near circle. That tipped right back top of the near circle. Dilla trying to fire it across. That got caught in a pair of skates. Dilla back behind. Wraparound attempt. That comes all the way back to the near point. Held in there by Kieran. Kieran puts it into the near corner. Trying to chip it right back over is McComber outside the near circle. Garbati back to Kieran at the near point. Knocked away. Coming ahead the other direction is Custance. Custance, who has the first goal. Shot and chip the save. 8:50 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Niagara with the lead. They had the early lead yesterday as they scored at 10:46 yesterday. They got it going at 9:09 today. Puck in along, bouncing puck, near circle, trying to knock that away. Loose, comes over on the near side. As good shot attempt by Pileggi. Comes off the side of the net. Schiff able to cover it up. 8:41 left to go here in the first. 1-0, Niagara with the lead. Face off in the near face off circle. That just shifts right. Pileggi in to take the face off. Cummings on the other side. That puck in along the end board. Ceballos with it. Ceballos gets it over to Hung down the near boards. Hung trying to pull it back. That puck sent around by Ceballos right back behind the goal. Now down the far boards. Bouncing puck into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it. Gaining the zone. Michigan outside the far circle. Cummings trying to feed it out in front. Cummings right back behind the goal. Cummings underneath the near circle. She was trying to send it back to the near point, but Clipperton knocks it away. Clipperton underneath that far circle. Bouncing puck. Clipperton brings it over own blue line. Clipperton over center ice. Gaining the zone. Clipperton into the slot. That knocked away, but getting it back. Shot. Ship with the save. 7:58 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Niagara with the lead. 9 shots on goal for the Purple Eagles. 4 for Michigan. Michigan had the shot lead all until the very end of the third period yesterday. Niagara getting the early shot lead here as face-off to shifts right. Puck into the near corner. Kolwich has it there. Kolwich takes it right back behind her own goal. Kolwich firing it down the far boards. Battling, pinch there, tipped right back. Now here comes Lindahl. Lindahl trying to feed it ahead. That puck knocked down as Forbes trying to knock it away. Malashevsky has it. Now that chipped ahead. Right at the blue line, Niagara launches it all the way back to the Michigan blue line. And fed ahead by Kolwich. Now coming down deep. And into the far corner. McComber has it there. McComber trying to weave her way, get it out of the zone. Good job by Malashevsky to come up those far boards. Now Damatica trying to pull it off the board. And loose. Picked up by G. G back behind her own goal. G into the near corner. Moved around and that fired all the way down the ice. That will be icing at 7:05. That'll head right back into the Niagara zone. Michigan down by a goal. 1-0 to Niagara. Niagara trying to sweep the Wolverines. Michigan trying to get a big split on the road here. Face-off in the far face-off. Circle that to the right of Adley. Gordon in to take the face-off. And comes back. Hansen shot. That comes all the way into the far corner. McComber trying to bring it out. Gordon trying to peel it off the far board. Now Hansen in there as a quartet trying to dig and lever and poke it away. Carr again hits the ice. She seems to have had some issues in this rink. She's ended up down on the ice a lot more than I've seen recently as that puck comes right back to center. Katie German trying to knock it away. Now coming in with it, and it's to Hansen, who has that knocked as that comes in along the near boards. Picked up by Carr. Carr, top of the near circle. Carr with a shot blocker save, comes outside the far circle. Zamet sends it back behind. Into the near corner goes Williams. Fires it ahead. Now here comes to Hansen. Knocked back. Coming in, Zamet gains his own top of the far circle. Zamet, that shot into the near corner. Pull back there, trying to poke it ahead. Izzy German, top of the far circle. Vandenbush with it. Vandenbush outside the near circle. And puck trying to dig it in along the near boards. Hansen trying to pull it out of the zone. Still digging. Schweitzer in there trying to lever it away. Still right against the boards. Now coming away with it is Zamet. Zamet into the slot. Zamet has that knocked down. Here comes Michigan. Fired ahead. As that'll be grabbed right at the blue line. Chipped back ahead by Niagara. Knocked away is Zamet down the near boards. Here comes Michigan. Gaining the zone is Dilla. Dilla outside the near circle. Dilla firing it into the slot. That knocked away. Good opportunity for Michigan, but Schweitzer able to get her stick in the way as that was a centering attempt all the way back. Niagara has it into the far corner of the Michigan zone. Trying to pull it back away was Vandenbush. Puck into the near corner now. Trying to get it is Zamet trying to dig it off of the boards. Now that comes right back out into the neutral zone. Down the near boards of center ice. Gaining in. Here comes Dilla. Dilla on the near circle. Shot glove save by Adley. 5:03 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Niagara with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. It's going to be Dadley's left. Cummings in versus Haas. Puck into the near corner. Clipperton trying to get that as Hung pulls it away. Hung trying to fire it out in front. As backhanded shot by Cummings wouldn't go. Puck in along the far boards. Back to the far point. And shot tipped right into the slot, but knocked right there. Back into the neutral zone. Secreto has it down the far board. Secreto trying to fire it right back deep as that will be Adley who covers it up. 4:38 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Niagara with the lead here in Niagara University, Dwyer Arena. As they have the old GoldenEye music from the old N64 game. Can't tell you how many hours I spent playing that. Puck right back behind, trying to pull that away is Clipperton. Clipperton into the far corner to G. G rims it all the way around as that puck comes back into the neutral zone down the near boards. Izzy German all the way across over to Secreto. Secreto trying to pull it. Is that loose right at the center ice? Secreto right back to her own blue line. Now down the near boards. Here comes Cummings. Cummings, top of the near circle. That shot went off of a defender's skate as Cummings goes off for a line change. Lindahl providing pressure back behind the goal. Good job to hold it in by DeMonica. Now that puck loose onto the near circle. Clipperton was looking for it in a whistle. What do we got going on here? Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. Is that a hand pass maybe? I didn't see. Face-off is DeMonica with the shot. That comes back out into this high slot, coming the other direction. Racing ahead with it is Worrell into the zone. That right back the other direction. Michigan trying to pull it back. 10 shots on goal by Michigan, down 9 for Niagara. So Michigan's taken the shot lead as Niagara had an early shot lead. And puck pulled back around by McComber into the far corner. Now launched towards the far point, but held in by Michigan. DeMonica trying to pull that out, loose on the far circle now, making her way across. That got knocked away, picking it up. There's Lindahl losing an edge. As that puck outside the near circle. DeMonica there. Lindahl with a one-timer, and that one just went slightly high. Oh, that had a bunch of pepper on it. Puck into the near circle. Shot there as Adley with the save. DeMonica trying to come in to see if there's a rebound. No such luck. 3:06 left to go here in the first, 1-0. Niagara with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Gordon in to take the face-off. Pileggi on the other side. There's a shot. Stick by Adley outside the near circle. Gathered up, trying to fire it ahead is Custance. Intercepted right at center ice. Michigan touches up. Making her way through is Hansen. Knocked around in along the far boards. Back to the far point. Pileggi tried to chase it. That puck right back behind. Burtnick sends it down the near boards. Tipped by Custon. Top of the near circle. Gordon trying to peel that away. Hansen looking to get it. Now that puck right back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it is Worrell. Shot, rising shot, and score. As Worrell with the goal, that one just looked like it was going to be a glove save, and it just took a weird turn there and got back in. As again, you can see Worrell coming down with it, and she just cuts the near side shot and managed to find its way back. Niagara goal. That adds 32, and Michigan down by 2 now. As Clipperton loses an edge, it happened a couple times here in the first period. Petrie fires it all the way down the ice. Izzy German racing to get it. Izzy German knocks it off of the far board. Loose at center, now trying to feed it ahead. DeMonica DeMonica puts it right back in along the end boards. Into the far corner. Williams with it there. Williams trying to chase. DeMonica tips it and outside the far circle. Brought ahead. Racing with it to Hansen. And all the way back. Icing called as that'll come right back into the Niagara zone.
With her second goal of the season, number 12, Olivia Wara. Assisted by number 77, Abby Pileggi.
Pileggi with her second assist of the game is to Hansen coming down the far boards. As that puck loose right in. Coming back, trying to work her way in is Carr. That puck onto the near circle, held in at the blue line. Good job by Izzy German. Izzy German underneath the near circle now. Izzy German feeds it back to the near point. Ceballos with the shot. That got deflected out in front. Clipperton fires it all the way around the boards. Forbes chips it back out into the neutral zone. Izzy German right at center ice. Izzy German gains his own. Izzy German with the shot, and that is saved by Adley. 1:19 left to go here in the first. Face off in the Niagara zone. Cummings in to take the face off. That puck outside the near circle. Is trying to pull that away as Colwich out in front. Is that deflected? Colwich puts it right back into the near corner. Battle for it there, trying to dig that out of there. Flazar. Now Cummings underneath the far circle. Cummings stops and sent right back outside the far circle. Vandenbush with it. Is 57 seconds left to go here in the first. As Flazar had that puck now pulled away on the far circle, right back behind. Stopping, Schweitzer with it, then knocked away into the near corner. Ung trying to pull it back. Now Flazar underneath the near circle, trying to put it out in front. That puck loose is finally covered up by Adley. As a couple Michigan players down on the ice. 39.6 seconds left to go. 2-0 Niagara with the lead. Face-off will be Dadley's right in the far face-off circle. Malashevsky in to take the face-off. Schweitzer on the other side. Puck back as Lindahl has it. Lindahl trying to make her way through that. Pulled away by Schweitzer. Now knocked down. As Demotica trying to get to it outside the near circle. Lifted all the way back to the near point. As that back into Michigan zone. Gathered up there. Trying to bring it down. Here comes Katie German. Katie German. And she's pinned against the board. That is going to be a whistle. That's going to be, I believe, offside as they're going to bring it right outside of the Niagara zone. 16.9 seconds left to go. Puck in along the far board, sent right back into the Niagara zone. Williams all the way across over to Burtnick. Burtnick trying to feed it. That intercepted by Michigan. Poked away. Now Malashevsky brings it right back in. 4 seconds left. And it's sent all the way down to the near boards. Gathered up in the Michigan zone, and that will do it. Michigan in a hole early as they're down 2-0 at the end of the first. They'll have to make sure they can find some offense and make a big comeback here to pull the split. We'll step away as, well, let's do the action first. It was a penalty at 19:09 to Niagara. That was to Scaduto for interference. Then it was a Niagara goal at 16:47 as that was Custins with the goal. Assist was to Pileggi. Then at 2:32, it was a goal by Worrell as Pileggi on the assist, as well as Burtnick. That's where we're at. Shots on goal, 13 for Michigan, 10 for Niagara. So Michigan with the shot lead again, but that's not what's important. It's that big 2-0 for Niagara up on the scoreboard. Let's step away, play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band. We'll have your intermission ACHA scoreboard report. So you're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. We are live here at the first intermission between Niagara and Michigan women's hockey here at Dwyer Arena, just outside of Niagara Falls at the University of Niagara, home of the Purple Eagles. Niagara has the 2-0 lead here as we count down towards the second period. Let's talk a little bit about scores from yesterday. Scores from yesterday, it was 4-2 Rhode Island beating UMass, that at Amherst. It was 4-3 Grand Valley beating Penn State over at State College. Midland beat University of Minnesota 5-1. It was 3-2 Denver beating Utah, that in overtime. It was Indiana Tech putting it on Aquinas 16-0. No score reported in the Grand Valley Colorado game or the Michigan Dearborn Miami game. Montana visiting forfeit. Again, Wyoming couldn't make the trip, or something happened there. It was 5-0 McKendree over Lake Superior State University. That over at the Rexplex, the McKendree Rexplex over in O'Fallon, Illinois. Adrian shut out Michigan State 2-0. And it was University of Arizona beating Lindenwood 5-3. That all action from yesterday. I doubt anything's been reported today, but let's take a look. I could be surprised. And one final, it was 4-2 Lindenwood beating Arizona. Other games happening today, Maryville hosting Lake Superior State, Midland hosting Minnesota, and Michigan State hosting Adrian up at Munn Ice Arena. Taking a look at some Division I NCAA women's hockey scores. As we'll take a look at what happened yesterday. Let me just get my wonderful college hockey news app up here. So yesterday in non-conference action, whoops, I switched over. Let me get back to the women's. I was checking the dual into D score, which was not so pleasant if you're a Michigan fan from yesterday. State really poured it on. So in women's D1 NCAA hockey, it was Mercyhurst beating Penn State by a score of 3-2. RIT beat Lindenwood 4-3 in overtime. It was Syracuse topping Robert Morris 5-1. In the ECAC, Rensselaer Polytechnic beat Colgate in overtime 3-2. It was Cornell topping Union by a goal 2-1. As Brown shut out Dartmouth 3-0. Yale shut out Harvard 3-0. It was the 3-2 win St. Louis over Princeton, and Clarkston topped Quinnipiac 3-1. In Hockey East, Boston University beat Providence 4-1. It was a one-goal win by Vermont over Boston College 3-2. New Hampshire beat Merrimack 3-2, and it was Connecticut with a shutout of Holy Cross 1-0. It was St. Asselin beating Assumption 4-3. Sacred Heart beat St. Michael's 5-1. Long Island beat Franklin Pierce 2-1, and Stonehill shut out Post 1-0. In the WCHA, it was Ohio State beating St. Thomas 5-1. Wisconsin with an 8-2 win over Minnesota. It ended up in a shootout between Minnesota State and St. Cloud. Minnesota State won the shootout 2-1 in 5 rounds. And it was Minnesota Duluth putting it on Bemidji State 6-0. As Niagara heads back out onto the ice, Michigan coming in the door to our right. As they're heading out onto the ice, we will have our Michigan scoreboard report at the second intermission here. It's Niagara 2, Michigan nothing. Michigan having some problems finding a goal in the last several games. They're looking for a big offensive explosion here in the second. Niagara just wants to keep on ticking along, trying to get the weekend sweep. Grateful for you watching wherever you are at. Thank you. I know there's this a big game that's happening this evening of some sort of nature that people like to watch. And we appreciate you taking some time before that to cheer on either of these two teams. Michigan going from right to left here in the second period. Let's bring up a little rink noise there as well. KD German out there. Shifts, skates down to the right. Maluszewski in to take the face off. Kolwich at the other blue line. Indeed, that is Kolwich. Demotica on the right wing, Lindahl on the left wing. Haas across the way, getting ready for this face-off. Scaduto to her left. And Q to her right. As we are underway, Katie German moves over to Kolwich. Kolwich ricochets it off the far board. Trying to bring it in. Demotica has it outside the far circle. Puck right back behind the goal. In along the near boards is trying to hold it in. Malashevsky outside the near circle. Malashevsky into the near corner. She battles Haas. And puck in along the end boards. Malashevsky feeds it all the way around. That tip top of the far circle. Demotica with it there. Demotica shot that comes all the way out back to the near point. Katie German trying to fire it back deep. That deflects all the way through the neutral zone back into the Michigan end. Kolwich with it back behind her own goal. Kolwich sends it down the near boards. Here comes Lindahl. And right through center ice. Demotica gains the zone. Demotica feeds it as that goes right back behind the goal underneath the near circle. Katie German trying to get to that puck all the way back to the far point. Kieran has it into the neutral zone. Kieran gains the zone. Kieran coming into the slot. Backhanded shot that went off of a skate into the far corner. Williams rockets it all the way around as Scaduto fires it into the neutral zone. Now here comes Kieran. Kieran gains the zone from Michigan. Kieran, top of that near or far circle. That fired all the way back. Now Carr trying to get a shot away. And puck back to the near point. Slips back into the neutral zone down the near boards. Hansen trying to bring it in. Hansen trying to feed it. Is Clipperton racing back to get it. Now Gordon back to Hansen outside the near circle. And puck onto the far circle. Firing! Backhanded shot by Carr. Loose out in front. As trying to cover it up. Still loose and Adley with it. Oh, the scrum over on the far side trying to poke it in. Adley sprawled out in the goal. And Michigan just couldn't get that puck over the line. Beautiful opportunity over there by Carr. Good positioning, looking for that rebound. Gordon in to take the face-off in the far face-off circle. As Pileggi on the other side. Puck into the far corner. Now comes right back. Carr trying to fire it out in front. Battle with it. That comes back into the near corner. Gathering it. Gordon comes back behind the goal. Fires it all the way back. As Kieran races back into the neutral zone trying to reset. Hansen has it right at the near point. Hansen coming across the blue line. High slot shot there. Adley puts it outside the near circle. And fired right back into the neutral zone. Now Ferris trying to bring it ahead. Over. Now Carr has it. Carr, top of the near circle. There's a shot glove save by Adley. 19-10 Michigan with the shot lead, but just can't break that big old goose egg on the scoreboard. 2-0 Niagara with the lead. 17:46 left to go. In the near face-off circle. If that's Cummings in to take the face-off. Puck outside the near circle now. And it's steered back behind and along the far boards. And it's trying to dig that away as Garbady. Now Bobby trying to get to it. Puck outside. Back to the far point. Shot there. That deflects back into the near corner. Now working her way through. Bobby's shot just went wide. Ceballos has it. Top of the far circle. Trying to hold it in as Dilla. Now that puck coming down the other direction. Here comes Niagara. Shot by Vandenbush out in front. Loose. There's a couple good saves there by Schiff. Back to the far point. Niagara holds it in. Deflects into the far corner. That lifted all the way back into the neutral zone. Now Garbady coming down the far side. That brought in. Shot there. Is an excellent shot back by Dilla. Dilla takes it back behind. Dilla underneath the far circle. Dilla trying to dig it off the boards. Dilla trying to poke it out in front. That puck right back. 16:45 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Niagara with the lead. Just would love to see Michigan get a goal and see if they can get a flood of them coming in. Now that's Cummings in to take the face off. Lazar to her left, on to her right. That back over to Hong. Hong sends it back to the far point. Kolwich fires it back. That in along the end boards. Puck into the near corner. Lazar with it. And trying to dig it off the end boards is Cummings. Fired all the way through the neutral zone. That'll roll on edge. Skitters into the Michigan end. That will be icing and head back the other direction. 16:27 left to go here in the second, 2-0. Michigan with the lead. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That's to Adley's right. Face-off. There's a shot by Lindahl. Saved by Adley outside the near circle. Malashevsky trying to dig it off of the board. Now coming away with it. Demotica shot in the slot. That just goes wide. Taking it up. Backhanded shot. And that is a save. Boy, I thought that had a big opportunity. Just skating across the crease. I believe that's Malashevsky who had an opportunity to put it in. And Adley still with a fantastic save. Peter Gabriel playing out there. One little sledgehammer. Back behind. Demotica trying to get it. That into the slot, but knocked away. Here comes Niagara as they get it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Katie German. She floats back into her own end. Trying to fire it ahead. That knocked right back by Petrie. Trying to dig it away is trying to get away from Forbes. That puck pulled ahead. Katie German moves it over to Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl coming in on the near circle. Lindahl using her body, trying to get it off the side of the net. Now coming in, there's Demonica with a shot and a save by Adley. 15:38 left to go here in the second. Niagara with the 2-0 lead. Michigan 24 shots on goal to 12. They're doubling them up in shots. Doesn't help if they don't go in. Gordon taking the face-off in the near face-off circle. That swept back to the near point. Ferris takes a shot, trying to deflect it out in front. Good job by Carr out in front. And that puck steered into the near corner. Now outside the near circle. Ferris trying to hold it in. And comes back down the near boards of the neutral zone, trying to turn on it. And chip back by Hansen. Hansen coming in. Hansen with a shot. Loose rebound. Backhanded shot. Is Adley able to save it? Hansen gets planted to the ice. Officials talk things over. As Hansen was just out in front trying to poke that in, and she ended up flat on her back as she was shoved down to the ice. Replay on. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Now that chipped into the far corner. Carr ends up down. We have a whistle. Tripping the call as into the box goes McComber. Second power play for the Wolverines. What was that, organ version of Inagata Davida, I think? And some interesting music playing here as Michigan on the power play. They really want to cash in, puck back into the neutral zone. This team is hungry for a goal, and that's an understatement. Lindahl coming in outside the far circle. Lindahl back behind the goal. Lindahl underneath the near circle. Lindahl fires it back to Ferris at the near point. Ferris sends it back to Lindahl all the way across. That comes over to Carr on the far circle. Carr takes it underneath the far circle. Carr gets it. Ferris shot. Trying to tip it that into the near corner. Now Lindahl with it. Lindahl. And knocked away as Niagara gets it back into the neutral zone. Ferris sends it down the far boards. Carr gains his own. Carr outside the far circle. Now knocked down, loose. Michigan able to hold it in as that slips all the way outside the near circle. Gathered up by Malashevsky. Malashevsky back behind the goal. Malashevsky underneath the far circle. That held in by Ferris. Ferris trying to skate her way over. Schweitzer was trying to knock it away. Ferris outside the far circle. That comes back into the far corner. Out in front, there's a shot from the far circle. That got deflected away all the way down, and that will be into the neutral zone. Ferris with it there. Ferris back into her own zone, trying to avoid pressure back there by Schweitzer. Feeds ahead to Hansen. Hansen comes through the slot, now onto the far circle. Shot there, and puck into the far corner. Now Lindahl with it. Lindahl back to the point. Shot from the high slot. That goes into the near corner. Pulled back by Lindahl. Back to the near point to Ferris. Ferris all the way across, top of the far circle for Carr. Carr into the slot, hits it with the shot. That's saved by Adley, comes outside the near circle. And now Leshevsky into the near corner, trying to fire it out. Chip, that goes just high. Into the far corner, now Malashevsky out in front. Lindahl with a shot. That wouldn't settle down. Lindahl has it outside the near circle. Lindahl. That slips back into the neutral zone as it's a foot race. Carr gets to it. Carr trying to pull it away, and the penalty has expired. 13:06 left to go here in the second. Able to kill off 2 penalties is Niagara, covered up by Adley. Couple big opportunities. 13:01 left to go here in the second, 2-0. Niagara with the lead. 27 shots on goal to 12. Michigan with the lead on shots as that puck tipped. As Secreto chasing it, that comes down the far boards. Is working, bringing it in. Pileggi with a shot, saved by Schiff. 12:49 left to go here in the second. Michigan down a pair of goals. Face-off in that far face-off circle, comes back to the blue line. Able to knock it away is Bobby, now coming down the far boards. Dilla, that poked right back. Custins feeds it ahead, working her way over that puck outside the near circle as Pileggi gets it into the near corner. Chipped ahead for Garbady. Garbady ahead. That held in at the far point. Knuckleball grab by Schiff. 12:28 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Niagara with the lead. Okay, next game's going to be Thursday. That start time has been moved up to 7:30 at Yost Ice Arena. 2 more opportunities to see this team at Yost. There's a shot that got knocked away from Worrell. Now bringing it ahead. Here comes Flizar. Flizar gains his own. Flizar moves it right back behind the goal. Hung chasing it into one hand boards. Underneath now, Flizar feeds it, trying to get it out to Cummings. That loose all the way back. That skitters on edge, spins all the way over into the Michigan end. Secreto putting it down the far boards. Izzy German trying to pull it away. Hung gets it back into the neutral zone, but controlled by Niagara. Flizar trying to chip that back. Now Izzy German trying to keep it as that's sent into the zone. Racing back, Vandenbush into the near corner. Excuse me, that's Haas. Sent outside. Hung trying to move it ahead. There's a blast, as that's a good save as Burtnick with a blast from the far point. Loose in along the far board. Secreto trying to dig it off the far board. Now here comes Hung. Hung moves it over, ricochets off the near board and bringing it ahead. Here comes Michigan. Into the zone, shot there as that got deflected and moved away as Bobby looking for an opportunity. Puck into the near corner. Lindahl trying to pull it away. Now Malashevsky outside the far circle. Lindahl back behind the goal, loose on that far circle. Now all the way back into the Michigan end it goes. Icing waved off, picked up back behind. Katie German fires it ahead. Now DeMonica trying to chip it into the neutral zone. Katie German tips it. Now that brought in by Lindahl down the far boards. Lindahl on the far circle. Lindahl skates. Oh, there's a shot, and Katie German trying to get the rebound and just slips away into the far corner. Lindahl that pulled away. Schweitzer fires it all the way around underneath that near circle as G fires it all the way back to the far point. Back into the neutral zone it goes. That controlled. Lindahl down to the near boards over to Malashevsky. Malashevsky outside the near circle. Malashevsky trying to pull it as G pinned her against the board. Now DeMonica trying to hold it in, but that's sent right back into the Michigan zone. Katie German trying to avoid big-time pressure by Forbes. Katie German feeds it all the way through the neutral zone, but chipped right back the other direction by Niagara. Katie German gains his own high slot. Katie German trying to move it over. There's a blast by DeMonica. DeMonica again with a shot into the far corner for Carr. Now that pulled down, racing ahead with it. Down the far boards. Is that Clipperton? I believe it is. It is Clipperton. She backhands it right through the slot. Carr has it outside the near circle. 9:48 left to go here in the second. 2-0 Niagara with the lead. Puck back into the neutral zone and offside the call. Niagara had to touch up, but they fired it right back in. So 9:42 left to go here in the second, 2-0. Eagles, Purple Eagles with the lead. Face off in the air, face off circle. Hansen trying to get to it, trying to pull it away from Zamet. Hansen down. Now that pulled back over by Burtnick. Burtnick ricochets it off the far board. Added up by Vandenbush. Now pulled ahead, fired all the way down the far boards. Icing waved off, picked up back behind. Kieran moves it down. Now here comes Carr. Carr trying to get it passed over to Hansen. That tipped away by Burtnick. Now Gordon fires it deep into the Niagara zone. Collected. Niagara down the near boards. Bringing it is Williams. Williams over on blue line. Williams moves it back deep. That will be icing. And that'll head back into the Niagara end. 9:03 left to go here in the second. Live from Dwyer Ice Arena. Face-off comes to the near side. Dadley's right. Garbady in to take the face-off. Puck back to the near point. Ferris takes a shot. Glove save is aiming for the upper right-hand corner. Dadley gets a flash of leather and keeps it out. Face-off again, the near face-off circle. Garbady in there versus Pileggi. That puck through the slot, knocked away. Niagara brings it ahead. Pileggi through the neutral zone. That knocked away. Here comes Kieran. Kieran fires it back deep into the far corner. And trying to move it all the way around is Worrell. Puck outside the near circle. Ferris holds it in. There's a shot and a save by Adley. 8:35 left to go here in the second. 31 shots on goal for the Wolverines, 15 for Niagara. Michigan has kept the pressure on. You figure one of these has to find its way in. Cummings in to take the face-off in the near face-off circle. As Pileggi on the other side. McComber firing it down the near boards, back into the neutral zone. Gathered up. Coming in, Custins with it. Custins with the shot. Good save by Schiff as the Izzy German feeds it, rims it all the way around the boards. Gathered up down the near boards. Flazar trying to get it out of the zone. Puck back into the neutral zone. Controlled there as McComber had it, but a whistle. Michigan goes on the power play as Niagara penalty. Custins goes into the box. Was that a high stick call, it looks like? That at 8:11. Malashevsky in to take the face-off. Puck in along the end boards. Hansen with it there. Hansen trying to get it high slot to Ferris. Ferris moves it back into the near corner.
2 minutes for roughing.
Roughing, excuse me, the call.
2 minutes roughing.
And puck outside the near circle. Lindahl trying to work her way in. That goes all the way back to the far point. Ferris able to hold it in and pinch. And puck top of the far circle back to Ferris. Ferris again holds it in. Malashevsky underneath the far circle. Malashevsky trying to weave her way through traffic. And puck goes into the near corner as Lindahl has it over there. Lindahl trying to pull it away from a pair of Purple Eagles. Now back in there trying to dig it out of there is Hansen as well. Hansen comes away with it. Hansen right back behind the goal as that was Vandenbush gumming things up. There's a shot by Carr, deflected, slot, shot, saved by Adley. 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go here in the power play. 7:18 left to go here in the second. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That Dadley's left. Garbadian to take the face-off. In there, trying to get away from Schweitzer. That puck all the way down the ice. We approach the 1 minute mark in the power play. 7:11 left to go here in the second. Michigan brings it down the far boards as Cummings brings it ahead. Fired right back. Top of the far circle now in along the near circle. Demotica with it. Demotica trying to bring it into the zone. Demotica, top of the near circle. Demotica. That into the far corner. Garbady with it. Garbady Flips it. Is that lifted? Back into the neutral zone now, down the near boards. Cummings resets, puts it at the blue line. Now right back. Cummings gets it back. Cummings moving it ahead. 25 seconds left in the power play. Here comes DeModica, fired right back deep into the Michigan zone. That'll end up a shot on goal as Schiff will leave it. Pull back down the near boards. Flazar coming ahead with it. Flazar down the near boards over to Cummings. Cummings gains his own. Cummings at the near point. Cummings ends up down on the ice as that penalty has expired. As Niagara back to full strength. Pelleggi trying to get to it, fired all the way around the boards. Now Kolwich trying to get it down the ice. Here comes Garbady. Garbady racing ahead with it. Garbady onto the far circle. Garbady goes back behind the goal. Garbady fires it right through the crease. And in along the far boards as Petrie gets it ahead. Now here comes Johansson to Hansen. Over to Forbes. Forbes on the near circle. Forbes has it knocked away by Carr. Shot there in a glove. Knocked away in along the near boards. To Hansen, fires it all the way across, top of the far circle for Clipperton. That deflects right back behind. Kolwich feeds it ahead. That kick saved in, still held in. Now fired ahead back into the neutral zone. But to Hansen resets at her own blue line. Pokes that ahead for Clipperton. Knocked right back. Here comes Carr. Carr coming down the near boards. Carr all the way across onto the far circle, coming in, trying to work her way in as Hansen back. There's a shot by Katie German, still loose, and Adley able to save it. 5:03 left to go here in the second. Malashevsky in to take the face-off in the near face-off circle. And all the way across, trying to hold it in. That slips back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Vandenbush. Vandenbush outside the near circle. Vandenbush. Fired into the near corner. That puck pulled around by Malashevsky. Malashevsky underneath that circle all the way back to the far point. Comes all the way back into the near corner with it. Vandenbush moves it around. That shot by Schweitzer off the side of the goal. There's a puck into the near corner now. Trying to bring it ahead. Lindahl had it, held in. Trying to make her way through is Williams. That shot knocked down in front, still loose. As battle for it, comes all the way back out. Now poking her way through, trying to get to it as that slides just outside the near post. As Worrell had it, she opened up the scoring. She almost had another one there. Puck underneath. In along the end boards as Malashevsky trying to get away from Vandenbush. Bush now coming ahead. DeModica with it. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl. Whoa! As collision at center ice. As a Michigan player got tied up with Schweitzer, and Zamet took a exception to that and shoved DeModica to the ground. So DeModica into the box. Schweitzer into the box. So one Michigan player in the box, two Niagara players. That should be a Michigan power play. So I was following Lindahl coming into the zone. I did not see what happened right at center ice, but both DeModica and Schweitzer were down on the ground, and as DeModica went to sit up, little push down by Zametz. .354 left to go as the officials have to do some differential calculus to figure out the penalties here as they continue to talk to the Niagara bench. Now they'll come over and have a discussion with Lindahl there. Coach Tribb's on the end of the bench trying to get an exclamation. Lindahl will come over and give her the 4-1-1. Does anyone ever actually like dial 411 for information anymore? Or let alone the 9-digit number for information? That is going to end up being a Niagara penalty. 2 minutes up on the clock. So the lots more to write on the score sheet over across the way. 36 shots on goal for Michigan, 20 for Niagara. And puck outside the near circle now. High slot moved over top of the near circle over for Lindahl. Lindahl over to Hansen into the near corner of that. High slot over to Ferris. There's a shot, comes right back. Lindahl onto the near circle. Back over to Hansen underneath the near circle. All the way back to Ferris. Ferris at the blue line. There's a shot that gets deflected out. Still loose as Adley covers it up. 3:30 left to go here in the second. 1:36 left to go in the power play. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Maluszewski in to take that face-off. Is coming in. Hansen with the shot. Adley with the save. .134 left to go here in the power play. Maluszewski trying to win that back as in there versus Pileggi. He'll redrop it, that puck. As Carr has it, now chipped over at the near point, trying to fire it back deep as the puck in along the end boards. Maluszewski trying to get to it. Now Hansen coming across and fires it. That's saved by Adley. Another shot that comes outside the near circle. Opportunities as they'll slip back into the neutral zone. Michigan has to reset. To avoid a delayed offsides. 1 minute, 8 seconds left to go in the power play. Maluszewski brings it in outside the near circle. Under 3 minutes left to go. Here in the second, Maluszewski back behind the goal into the far corner. She ends up heavy down to the ice, and there is a penalty upcoming. Looks like an illegal body check. I believe that's the symbol they made, although the official facing the other direction. Illegal body check is the call as the no room at the end in the Niagara penalty box as they are full 3 players there. As I believe that was Burtnick in for that one. And we have a 5-on-3 for Michigan for 55 seconds. We just hoping they can score one here. As that moved back outside the near circle, Kieran setting that up. Set up, shot, trying to get it. A flurry of pad saves back there by Adley. Now Kieran gets it over onto the far circle. Trying to fire it across. Bouncing puck comes outside the near circle. Gathered up back over there. Now moved over. Top of the near circle for Cummings. All the way back around. Kieran holds it in at the far point. 26 seconds left of the 5-on-3 shot there. Adley with the save. 24 seconds left on the 5-on-3. 2:17 left to go in the second.
2 minutes for roughing. To Niagara's number 15, Lauren Zammit, 2 minutes for roughing at a 10-minute misconduct.
Zammit's got a 10 minutes misconduct.
Number 25, Rain Pankey. And to number 89, Sarah Schweitzer, 2 minutes for roughing.
Schweitzer gets 2 minutes for roughing as well.
2 minutes roughing.
And onto the near circle as that just slips as Cummings trying to get a good shot away. Puck wouldn't settle down for it. She gets it back. Now moved over onto the far circle, spinning with it. Lazar has it over there as that got knocked down. Good job by Niagara to gum up the pass as the first penalty has expired. Now it's a 5-on-4 with 1 minute, 2 seconds left to go for Michigan. Trying to bring it ahead. Michigan back in their own zone. They bring it down the near boards. That brought in by Cummings outside the near circle. Cummings underneath the near circle. Cummings run back behind outside the far circle. Slides it back to the blue line. Kieran gets it back onto the far circle. Now spinning with it back over there. It's Flazar. Flazar outside that far circle trying to fire it as that's lifted all the way down the ice. 32 seconds left to go. Picked up back behind by Ferris. Now that ricocheted ahead, picked up. Here comes Malszewski. Malszewski trying to work her way through traffic. Gets it outside the far circle for Hansen. 14 seconds left to go. Hansen trying to move it back. Gathered up. A minute left to go in the second. Puck loose on that near circle, trying to fire it back deep. Malszewski trying to get to it. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl through the slot. Lindahl with a shot and a save just as the penalty expires. So Niagara able to kill off the 5-on-3. Michigan, a number of shots on goal. They have 42 shots on goal to 20 for Niagara. But it will not go in the back of the net. Some high-quality opportunities there, too. It's not like they didn't have some opportunities, but Hung gets it back to Katie German. Katie German fires it into the far corner, racing around, trying to get to it. Scaduto, now that top of the far circle. Flazar fires it right back deep. And get it out of there. Into the far corner, Cummings with it. Cummings slides it right back behind the goal to Flazar. Now back outside the far circle. That brought ahead by Scaduto. Back into the neutral zone it goes. Katie German trying to avoid heavy pressure by Panque. Katie German racing over Katie German. And sent ahead Flazar right at the blue line, but that puck wouldn't get through. Colwich trying to get it away. Spinning puck. Hung has it. Hung over on blue line down the far boards. Hung over center ice. Hung. And that will do it for the second. 2-0. Niagara with the lead. Michigan 43 shots on goal to 20. But just unable to break that goose egg on the scoreboard. 2-0. Niagara with the lead. We're going to step away, play a little bit of I Can't Turn You Loose, a bit of the Michigan Marching Band. Then we'll have your Michigan intermission scoreboard report coming up here at the second intermission.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
as we are here at the second intermission at Dwyer Ice Arena here at the University of Niagara. Let's do a little Michigan scoreboard report, taking a look at scores from yesterday. In women's track and field, it was a non-scoring event, the Michigan Invitational. In softball, Michigan beat Illinois State down in Tampa 4-0. By the way, CBN has been having those games out there for you if you want to listen. In men's track and field, again, Michigan Invitational non-scoring event. In lacrosse, men's lacrosse, Michigan fell to number 16 North Carolina 15-6. In women's tennis, Michigan lost to number 12 Oklahoma 4-3. In men's basketball, Michigan beat Indiana 70-67. In water polo, Wagner beat Michigan. Number 20 Wagner beat Michigan 12-8. In men's gymnastics, Michigan beat number 2 Illinois over at Cliff Keen Arena, 322.100 to 315.450. In softball, Michigan lost to Florida, number 3 Florida, 13-1 in 5 innings. In water polo, Michigan beat number 12 Indiana 15-14. And in the duel for the D over at Little Caesars Arena, it was Michigan State really having a huge comeback, 6-1 over Michigan last night. Let's see if there's anything that's happened thus far today that has been reported. Probably not as of yet. Get that to advance. And I hit the button one too many times. There we go. Golf. Michigan was at the Palms de Mar Collegiate at over in Puerto Rico. No score listed there. In softball, Michigan lost to Georgia Southern earlier today, 2-0. In water polo, Michigan lost to number 2 Stanford 14-8. In women's tennis, they played number 11 Texas down in Champaign. That game started at noon, not reported as of yet. In women's gymnastics, Michigan beat number 25 Nebraska 197.100 to 198.750. In men's tennis, they're taking on Columbia. That started at 1 o'clock. In women's basketball, Michigan's going to try and beat number 20 Michigan State. That game is started at the same time, 2 o'clock, that our game started. That is your Michigan scoreboard report as they just started to resurface the ice. It's interesting. I stepped away and they put 12 minutes up on the clock. I thought that was interesting, and it didn't go, and they didn't resurface the ice right away. I'm not sure. Now, they do have 2 rinks, and I wonder if the Zamboni driver was resurfacing the other rink, as they do have a smaller auxiliary rink right next door. So we'll be ready to go about 9 minutes and 50 seconds, but let's play a little bit more of let's get a little bit more music here as Michigan down 2-0. They have 43 shots on goal on the big board to 20 for Niagara, but Niagara has the 2-0 lead here as Michigan had a 5-on-3 for 53 seconds, could not cash in. They crashed the net. They had times at the net, and Adley has been a brick wall thus far. So Michigan's going to try and have a bevy of goals in the third to try and make a big comeback and get this offense cooking. We will be right back. You're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. as we are back from the second intermission. It is Michigan women's hockey here at Niagara. Purple Eagles have the 2-0 lead. Michigan a heavy lead of shots on goal, but still a big 0 on the scoreboard for the Wolverines. They're going to try and take care of that. Look for a bevy of goals this third period. Michigan going from left to right. Kolwich out there with the captain, Katie German. Schiff skates down to our left. Malashevsky in to take the face off. Demotica to her right. And I believe that's Lindahl over to her left. It is indeed. Haas on the other side takes the face off, coming down the near side. Burtnick has it. Burtnick fires it deep right back behind the Michigan goal. Coming down the far boards. And fired at the far point, but good job to knock that away. Right through the shot. Kolwich had a great job. Now Lindahl trying to fire it into the slot. Backhanded attempt and couldn't get it off. Demotica is a good pressure by Niagara to make it so she just couldn't get her stick free. All the way back to the far point. That slips past as Katie German races back to her own blue line. Moves it over to Kolwich. Kolwich up the near boards to Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl trying to feed it through the slot. That pulled back away down the near boards. Chipped ahead by Clipperton as one of the Niagara players ends up down on the ice, and the Niagara fans incensed about that. Puck picked up. Now Niagara coming ahead with it. They fire it all the way down. That'll hit against the backboard, coming down the near boards. Right through the neutral zone, trying to get to it was Demotica. Now Katie German down the near boards. 1 minute, 10 seconds gone here in the third. 2-0 Niagara with the lead. That puck right back deep into the Michigan zone. Racing back over, trying to get to it is Pelleggi. Now Hansen into the near corner, pulls it right back behind her own goal. Hansen coming down the far boards. Oh, intercepted and fired right back in deep by Niagara. That was fired back in by Williams. Puck ricocheted off the near boards, now racing ahead to get it. Here comes Michigan. Gordon fires it over to Flazar. Flazar into the far corner. Flazar trying to feed it back as that went off of a Niagara skate, rimmed all the way around, back to the near point. Trying to hold it in was Kieran as that puck brought all the way back. Ferris trying to pull it away as Vandenbush right back in along the end boards of the Michigan zone. 18 minutes left to go here in the third. Shot there, Schiff with a save. And another shot that got blocked out in front, picked up. That'll get moved over as G has it. G trying to fire it back deep, intercepted by Michigan as they fired all the way back into the neutral zone. Lifted right back in by McComber into the far corner. Ferris has it back behind her own goal. Ferris trying to feed it down the near boards. Picked up Hansen, trying to get it out of the zone, battling right at the near point. Now Cummings back. Chipped, intercepted, Vandenbush with it, shot. That got knocked away, tipped back. Good job by Schiff to get a piece of it, and here comes Michigan. Through neutral zone, trying to come in. Hansen has it, Hansen rips it. Just misses wide to the near side. Now Carr trying to get it into the slot. That knocked away, coming the other direction is Williams. Williams over center ice. Williams gains his own. Williams outside the far circle. That shot saved by Schiff. Comes top of the near circle. There's a blast as that sent right back over. That was Burtnick with the shot. Puck loose underneath that circle. Now Ceballos back behind her own goal. Feeds it down the far boards. Now Carr fires it ahead. Cummings fires it back deep. Picked up by Hung. Hung with the backhanded shot. Adley clearly sticks it into the near corner. Hung has it into the near corner, trying to pull it away from Williams now. Dilla has it outside the far circle. Dilla trying to dig it off of that far board. Hung trying to get it out of there as well. Again, a quartet of players digging, levering, pulling it away. Comes right back behind the goal. Down the near boards. Here comes to Hansen. And sent ahead by Petrie. Lifted down the near boards, right back into the Niagara zone. Williams trying to avoid pressure by Dilla. Picked up down those far boards and fired all the way back by Burtnick. Right at the Michigan blue line. Here comes Michigan. 16 minutes left to go here in the third. Coming right back behind is Garbady. Garbady into the far corner. Garbady Backhands it back to the far point. And it chipped right back outside the far circle. Now sent over to Dilla and along the end boards. Dilla trying to move it out in front. That knocked away. Coming the other direction. Fired all the way back by Clipperton. Now picked up into the Michigan zone. Put back deep. That was Forbes back over there. Indeed it was. Into the far corner. Now here comes Michigan weaving through traffic as that's fed ahead by Dilla down the far boards. Racing in with it. Here comes Izzy German. Knocked away from her. Held in though. Now back into the neutral zone. Izzy German trying to corral that. Lindahl trying to get around traffic as the puck chipped right back out and all the way down by McComber. Michigan in their own zone. Now they start the rush down the far boards. Fired back deep into the near corner. Chasing it down the near boards, trying to pull that away is Malashevsky. The puck put in to the end boards, into the far corner. McComber trying to get it out of the zone. Lindahl trying to dig it off of the far boards, outside of the far circle. Now DeMonica trying to pull it away as well. DeMonica comes away with it. DeMonica, high slot shot, just goes wide. Ricochets underneath the near circle, ahead. And put back by Kolwich right in along the end boards. McComber again trying to get it out of the zone, held in at the far point. There's a blast with Adley with the save. McComber again down the far boards, outside the far circle. Malashevsky trying to hold it in, right back into the neutral zone, put down the near boards. Haas has it, back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Haas for Niagara, brings it down the far boards. Haas over her own blue line, trying to get it ahead to Scadudo. Right back through the neutral zone, down the near boards. Here comes Michigan. As DeMonica trying to put it back deep and puck into the near corner. Now coming ahead with it is Burtnick. Burtnick get it out of the zone, brings it down the near boards through the neutral zone, gains the Michigan zone. Burtnick outside the near circle, firing it all the way through the slot back as that's held in at the far point. As Pelleggi has it, Niagara player was down in the slot. That was Burtnick. She looks to be okay. Puck right back into the neutral zone, gathered up. Carr trying to feed it ahead. Held in at right at the Niagara blue line. Williams trying to move it ahead. Knocked away as Pelleggi had it. And Custon knocks it back. Here comes Michigan. Gaining the zone is Gordon. Gordon into the slot. Shot there. Got deflected back. Gordon with the rebound, but that Williams got her stick in the way. Gordon couldn't get everything on it. Gordon now back into the far corner. Gordon trying to dig that puck. Now Hansen with it. Hansen centering attempt. Carr comes outside the near circle and fired right back in by Kieran. Kieran rims it all the way out to the far point. Now that comes back into the neutral zone. Into the Michigan zone. Hansen ends up down on the ice. Puck into the far corner. Taking it back behind. Niagara looking to grab it. Here comes Michigan down the near boards. With a head of steam coming in. Poked back. Still loose. Flazar holding it in. As that puck, Cummings trying to dig it out. Now that's fired from the far point. Deflected, spinning, and covered up by Adley. 12:29 left to go here in the third. 2-0. Niagara with the lead. Michigan with a 20-shot lead, 45-25. All to naught if they can't get it back behind Adley. Cummings in to take the face-off. Back to the far point. Rip from there as that blocker save into the far corner. Swung all the way around as McComber had it. Now outside the near circle is hung down. And picked back up by Schweitzer. Schweitzer into near circle. Fired all the way around outside the far circle. Sent right back. Picked up behind. Michigan trying to dig it out of their own zone down the near boards. Through center ice. Here comes Flazar. Flazar gains his own. Flazar coming in. Moves it out. Just goes wide. Trying to get a stick and tip it in. Was a good job by Cummings. And again trying to get out in front. Vandenbush trying to sweep it across as it's gathered up, coming down the near boards. Sider puts it back deep. Stopped by Schiff back behind her own goal as Schweitzer trying to get to it, and it's a goal. Schweitzer picks it up from behind and puts it in. Great individual effort by Schweitzer as she just grabs it. Schiff trying to keep it out of there, and Niagara's really made it a tall hill for Michigan to climb now. Schweitzer with the goal at 11:31. Puck out of play. They'll get a new puck. They'll drop it right at center ice. To Hansen in to take the face off as that coming back moved across. Here comes Katie German down the far boards, trying to get it over to Malashevsky. Battle for the puck, now picked up. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl, top of the far circle. Lindahl has that knocked away. Over there by Burtnick, puck into the far corner. Now Lindahl trying to get it. Demotica outside the far circle. Demotica into the slot. Malashevsky with the shot. That sticked away by Adley. Demotica in the far corner. And puck pulled back around. Burtnick with it. Burtnick coming down the far boards. Lifted ahead. Forbes sends it all the way across the ice. And the far boards, Petrie trying to pick it up. That right at the Michigan blue line. Fed ahead. Now Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl trying to get back past the defense. Lindahl trying to make a move. That knocked away as Williams with a good defensive play. Picked up by Lindahl. She can't skate through traffic. Well, Williams again underneath the far circle. Williams into the far corner. Goes back from the far side to the near side, back behind her own goal. Now back down the far side. And lifted ahead, coming in Petrie. Petrie gains the Michigan zone, fires it back into the far corner. Gathered up back behind. Katie German down the near boards. Lifted into the neutral zone. G has it. G controls for Niagara at her own blue line. G on the near circle, fired it over on the far circle. That lifted head by Clipperton. That'll go all the way back. That'll be icing. So that will come back into the Niagara zone. 9:57 left to go here in the third. Schweitzer with that goal. She has the team lead in points and continues that run. Gordon in to take the faceoff. And loose, coming all the way back. Picked up down the far boards, racing ahead with it. Here comes Michigan as they gain the zone. As Ferris with a shot, that covered up by Adley. Gordon to take the faceoff in that far faceoff circle. 9:44 left to go. 3-0. Niagara with the lead. Haas on the faceoff. That pulled is quick shot by Michigan. Deflects into the slot. Shot there. Still wouldn't go. Another shot wouldn't go. As Gordon with a pair of them. Now coming over. Carr with a shot that won't go in. That one just goes high. Picked up by Hansen. Had to be about 5 shots in just that little moment here. Now Carr with a backhanded shot. That goes high into the near corner. Gathered up, firing it ahead. Schweitzer. That knocked right back in along the near boards. Now trying to bring it out. Carr coming in with it. Trying to backhand it over to Hansen. That tipped away as Niagara good at getting their sticks in the way. Gordon outside the far circle into the far corner. Gordon trying to get it now. Carr outside, or excuse me, that's Hansen with it. Hansen trying to get it to Carr. That picked up. Hansen coming in. Shot that just goes wide to the far side. Now gathered up back over there by Burtnick. Burtnick feeds it ahead back into the neutral zone. Ferris with it. Ferris spins on it. Ferris over center ice. Ferris gains the zone. Ferris outside the near circle. Ferris trying to backhand it out in front. Picked up by Dilla. Dilla back behind the goal. Dilla outside the far circle. Dilla through the slot. Dilla, that poked away from her. Getting a stick on it was Teston. Now Ceballos trying to rocket it ahead. Gathered up by McComber. McComber fires it all the way down. Icing waved off into the near corner. 8:15 left to go here in the third. Back through that puck in along the far boards. Gathered up as Michigan gains the zone. Outside the far circle. Puck dropped there for Dilla. Comes over to the near side off the side of the net. Trying to bring it back over. Garbady back behind the goal. Down to the far circle it goes. Loose. Bringing it ahead. Racing down the near boards as here comes Niagara. Gaining the zone. Trying to go wide is Pileggi. And puck into the far corner. Swept back to the far point. Shot from there. That knocked away by Schiff. Gathered up, coming ahead with it. Izzy German with it, but a whistle. Interference to call. As Dilla in for interference, Michigan with their first penalty of the game. And it's 7:34. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Schweitzer in to take the face-off. Smolashevsky with that outside the near circle. Fired all the way across, in along the far boards, into the far corner with it. Katie German trying to dig it off of the end boards. Katie German battling a pair of Purple Eagles. That comes back underneath the near circle. And trying to feed it out in front. Puck all the way back. That will roll back deep into the Niagara zone. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go here in the power play for Niagara. 7 minutes left to go here in the third. Niagara brings it ahead. Down the near boards, that's fired up. Picking it in is Schweitzer. Schweitzer, top of that near circle. As that high up and down, and that gloved by Schiff. 1:15 left to go here in the power play to Niagara. 6:49 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the near face-off circle. As Pileggi trying to win that one versus Gordon. Puck into the near corner. Michigan trying to pull it out of there. Haas has it at the near point. Haas comes over top of the far circle. Shot there. Deflects back behind. Fired all the way around the boards. 1 minute left to go in the Niagara power play. That puck slips back into the Niagara zone. Haas chases it back there. Haas puts it down the far boards as Clipperton rockets it all the way back. Trying to pull that away. Loose top of the near circle as Custon's trying to grab that. Haas holds it in at the near point. Now Michigan able to get it back into the neutral zone and all the way down into the Niagara end. 36 seconds left to go in the power play for Niagara as Clipperton comes down the far boards. Clipperton over own blue line. Clipperton right over center ice. Clipperton puts it top over to two. Hansen, that out in front. Hung fires it all the way out. Or tries to get at least out from in front of the goal. Puck from the blue line, shot there by Schweitzer. That'll come outside the near circle. 10 seconds left to go in the Niagara power play. As Pileggi sends it right back behind. Custance back behind the goal. As Michigan back to full strength. The puck comes outside the far circle. DeMonica trying to pull that away. And lifted down the far boards. Held in at the far point. That's put right back deep over there by Worrell. Now Michigan lifts it down the ice. Foot race trying to get to it first as that'll be icing. As really trying to get to it, DeMonica just couldn't beat Niagara down the ice. 5 minutes, 11 seconds left to go here. So a timeout called. I think it was Michigan who called the timeout. Well, let's play a little of the Victors trying to get things fired up for this remaining 5 minutes and 11 seconds. 11 seconds left to go. Michigan calls the timeout, trying to get things figured out, trying to get a goal on the board. Still time to come back, but they got to start the scoring rush now. As that puck in along the end boards, trying to feed it ahead as that's held in at the near point by Williams. Now pulled back into neutral zone. DeMonica trying to get to it. Lindahl chasing it, but that'll come right back in as Petrie with the shot from the top of the far circle. Up and out of play. 4:49 left to go here in the third. 50 shots on goal by the Wolverines, 30 by Niagara. 30 is not a horrible amount of shots. 50 is impressive. I figure one of these has to go in. It's not like they're all soft blows. Puck into the near corner, trying to dig it out of there. As that's put back, Colwich chases, and that covered up by Schiff. 4:40 left to go. Face off in the near, face off. Sorko Gordon in to take the face off. Schweitzer on the other side. That puck back as G puts it into the corner. Trying to fire it. There's a shot that got blocked out in front. Coming down the near boards. Here comes Michigan as Hansen gets it ahead. Here comes Carr. Carr gains his own. Carr, top of the far circle, moving over to Hansen. Hansen, as she ends up in the goal, trying to stick handle. And she was just trying to make a move to the forehand, the backhand, and kind of ran out of room into the goal. Adley looks like she's okay. Hansen trying to get back past the defense and just trying to do a little stick handling, and then the room ran out on her. That's going to be a tripping call. Michigan goes on the power play as Schweitzer goes into the box. So Niagara penalty. At 4:20, tripping the call. So top scorer out of the game for Schweitzer. Now Niagara wants to talk things over. They want a timeout. They're looking to try and keep the shutout for Adley.
Timeout on the ice called by Niagara. Timeout, Purple Eagles.
Well, let's see what we can do. Let's play a little bit of. We'll do a little more. Let's Go Blue. .20 left to go. 2 minutes on the power play for Michigan. Face off in the far face off circle versus Adley. Hansen with a great opportunity. Tripping called as she ran out of room. And puck back to the far point. High slot over, or high slot for Ferris now onto the far circle. Lindahl back behind. All the way back to Ferris at the blue line. And that goes just wide. Picked up, trying to work her way in. Into the near corner, Hansen with it. Hansen fires it outside the far circle for Lindahl. Back to Hansen, back to Lindahl. As that puck got knocked through the slot. Pulling back, another shot, trying to poke it in the far post, but no dice as Adley keeping tight to that post. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the power play. 3:49 left to go. Here in the third, that puck all the way down the ice. Ferris races back to get it. Ferris picks it up in their own zone. Ferris turning on it, trying to avoid pressure back there by Scaduto. Now Malashevsky trying to feed it ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl underneath the near circle. Lindahl goes back behind the goal. Lindahl onto the far circle with it. Lindahl, top of the far circle, gets it over to Carr on the near circle. Carr trying to feed it across. That ended up getting a little too much air. Now right back behind for Hansen. Hansen trying to peel it away. Hansen pinned against the board. Lindahl trying to get to it. And puck outside that circle. Now Carr has it. Carr feeds it right back to Hansen. Hansen on the far circle. Hansen coming in. Shot there just goes high. Puck outside the near circle. And now come back to the near point. Ferris with it. Ferris gets it. There's a shot by Lindahl. Out into the far corner. Loose. Trying to keep it in. Hansen back to Lindahl. That comes all the way outside the near circle. And puck will come back into the neutral zone. 30 seconds left to go on the Michigan power play. 2:48 left to go here in the third. Coming down the near boards. Cummings gains his own. Cummings coming in. Cummings with a shot that just goes wide to the far side. As DeMonica with it at the far point. Drop pass there coming in. Kieran gets it into the far corner. Back. Kieran. High slot now over him, trying to get it over to Flazar. Flazar outside the near circle. Back to Kieran at the near point. Kieran back to Flazar. Flazar moves it to Kieran. Kieran on the far circle. Back to full strength is Niagara. As that puck outside the far circle, but gathered up and lifted back into the neutral zone by McComber. Here comes Schweitzer. Schweitzer had the last goal by Niagara to make it 3-0. Schweitzer back behind underneath the near circle. And over to Pileggi, back to Schweitzer, put into the slot, now picked up there. Here comes Michigan, racing ahead with it, down the boards. Onto the far circle, coming in. Oh, just missing it was Garbady, trying to come in, and she just couldn't redirect it inside the post. Garbady pinned against the board. Now into the near corner. Trying to dig it out of there, coming out. Here comes Niagara. And trying to pull it away as Lindahl. That right back into the far corner. Picked up by McComber as Michigan touched up. And bounces right back into the neutral zone. Down the near boards. Trying to fire it right back in deep as Kolwich puts it into the near corner. Yeah, Lindahl trying to get to it. That loose. As Custins over, racing ahead with it. Here comes Burtnick. Burtnick into the Michigan zone. Michigan quickly the other direction as Katie German gets it going. Tipped into the far corner. Racing back over to get it is Lindahl. 1 minute left to go. Lindahl in along the end boards off the side of the net. Puck back behind now outside the near circle. Clipperton gets it back into the neutral zone. Katie German ends up down on the ice. Tripped there as that puck outside the far circle. Katie German trying to knock that away. Picked up as two. Hansen has it. Trying to put it ahead. Loose. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl races ahead with it. 30 seconds left to go. Michigan just wants to get a goal as they have been so snake-bit in these last few games. Hansen outside the far circle. Maybe all the goals that have been not coming will explode against Arizona State. Coming ahead with it, 12 seconds left to go. As that puck all the way outside the far circle, 6 seconds left to go. Back behind and along the end boards, picked up by Kieran. 1.3 seconds left to go. The face-off in the Michigan zone. No way they can get it all the way down the ice. So a Michigan penalty. So power play for the Eagles. They will come away with the win, most likely 3-0 unless they score in this last second point, 1.3 seconds. Michigan with 54 shots on goal, but cannot find it past Hadley. As that will do it. The Wolverines battle hard both games. They play their guts out, but all the nod is they're shut out. 2-0 yesterday, 3-0 today. The Wolverines will try and get themselves right before going into the CCWHA playoffs. As again, Thursday, 7:30, they will take on Arizona State. Then Sunday, 4:05, they have Rhode Island coming in. And this Michigan team looking to find their mojo back and really light things up right before the conference tournament, which is when you want to be playing your best hockey. Grateful to everyone for watching, whichever team you cheered for. Thank you very much for supporting these amazing athletes. We're privileged to do what we do. I want to thank Mike Butler, my brother-in-law, who ran camera and allowed me to drag him all the way out here to Niagara. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so very, very much. Have a fantastic rest of the evening. Enjoy that big game this evening, and we'll see you on Thursday. Oh, by the way, our 1000th broadcast. This was our 998th broadcast. Our 1000th broadcast will be Wednesday for the Pioneer Women's varsity basketball game. That will be our 1000th broadcast. Very proud of that. Arizona State will be our 1001st broadcast.